What's up, my Mellaholics? Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, you should literally stay and become a Mellaholic today. Like, what are you doing? You should literally become a Mellaholic, because who wouldn't want to be a Mellaholic? I would. I already am a Mellaholic, but are you? Right. Do that. Go ahead. Hit that red subscribe button. Thank you very much. So anyway, y'all, this is part 2 of how my 3-year friendship with my ex-best friend ended. If you haven't seen part 1, you should definitely stop right now. Go watch the first part, because it's very much important to the second part and how everything ends. And then come back and watch this one. But y'all, we're almost done. I swear this one shouldn't be too long. It shouldn't be as long as the first one, but we'll see. But before we jump into that, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share. Get your girl out there, and we're gonna jump straight into it. So where I left off in the first part was basically she ended up getting into it really bad with Scary, and it was just a lot. But when it got back to me about what happened, I was just totally livid. Like, y'all, I was angry, okay? Because it's like, it starts with, why didn't you listen? We told you not to meet back up with this man. And now, like I said in the first part, if he put his hands on you before, he's definitely gonna do it again. And that's exactly what he did. I don't care if it took him that long to get to that point. It don't matter, because you re-involved yourself with him. It happened somewhere down the line. So I was mad that he had put his hands on her again, but I was also very livid that the opportunity was given for that to happen, if that makes sense. Again, I do not blame victims for what their abusers do to them, but she had an out. And to me, I feel like that's like kind of like a slap in the face to victims who like lost their lives or who were seriously injured by their abusers or by the hands of their abusers, even though they wanted outs. Like, there are people who want outs of their domestic violent or domestic abusive relationships, and they have no out, but they would jump literally at the second that they have an opportunity, even the slightest opportunity, to get out of it and to stay away from that person. So the fact that she re-involved herself with him after everything that happened, and like this happened, it's just like, I was like, this literally could have been avoided. Like, what's so hard about listening to people who actually care about you and who actually have your best interest in mind, rather than going off of like a whim and just doing random like, I don't know, that was just so random to me. I don't know why she met back up with him. So that was that. But regardless of me being really upset over that situation, when her court dates were coming up, I went with her as an emotional support, because I know that situation was really hard on her, as it would be on any normal person. That's just a lot to go through. And then for you to go to court to face the person who did this to you is just like crazy. So I understood that. I put that behind me. It's just like, at the same time, I'm not the one who's physically going through these situations with the abuser. It's just, I'm on the sidelines trying to help someone who seemed like it got to a point to where it seemed like, do she even want to be helped? Like, do she want to be saved? Do she want help? But I don't know. Again, I put that behind me, and I went to 2 or 3, I can't remember, 2 or 3 court dates with her that she was having. But all 2 or 3 of those times, she never made it in the courtroom, which it didn't matter. The point is, I came regardless in support of her. I don't care if she made it to the, I didn't care if she made it to the courtroom or not. I was just supposed to be there for her. After that, things went back to normal for the most part. Eventually he did, hold on, let me tell y'all. So that ended up, when she finally was able to get into like the courtroom and stuff, that ended up in him basically just getting a slap on the wrist. He was basically sentenced to spending the rest of the 30, I don't think it was 90 days. I think it was 30 days, if I'm not mistaken. Rest of the 30 days in the jail, because that whole time they were holding him while she was supposed to go, like, while they were supposed to have the court dates, and they claimed that they couldn't hold him for more than 30 days. So he was sentenced to serve the rest of those 30 days, and then when he gets out, he would be on probation for 5 years, and he had to finish these courses too to basically tell him to keep his hands to himself. So he had got out. She was very upset with that sentencing. So was I, because I was just like, that's literally like, and they said they sentenced that to him because he had a clean record. I was literally like, it don't matter if he had a clean record or not. For the severity of that situation, mind y'all, not only did he put his hands on her, but he attempted to run her and another woman over, and then he wrecked seven other cars. 7 is not a big number, but when it comes to stuff like cars, that's like the same thing as saying like he ran through 7 houses, like straight through 7 houses. Them are houses. He wrecked 7 other cars, and then he totaled hers. So on top of him wrecking other people's vehicles, he totaled a vehicle that wasn't his. And y'all mean to tell me that he's walking away with the slap on the wrist? But then again, I'm not surprised. With our justice system and everything, with our government, people get a slap on the wrist for way worse things. So can't believe we were shocked by that, but we were, and we weren't okay with it. But life goes on. It had to go on because they had the final say. So things went to normal for some time. He ended up going back to jail because he ended up messing up during his probation. So as far as I know, he should be spending, what is it now, the next 4 years in jail. I don't know, y'all. I don't care either. Anyway, yeah, things went back to normal for the most part. I guess you could say she's back to herself, but it seems like now, like, she's getting back, not out there looking for a relationship, but she still has like side people, I guess, that she messes with from time to time, and she would talk to us about that. Then she ended up working at a warehouse for one of the delivering companies, you know, such as Amazon and stuff. And that's where she ended up meeting her next boyfriend. And it wasn't intentionally supposed to be that. Like, at first she told him that she was not looking for a relationship, and although she told him that multiple times, it ended up being that he had asked her multiple times for them to jump into, or not even jump into a relationship, but really it is that they jumped into a relationship. To get into a relationship, basically drop their hoes for each other to be boyfriend or girlfriend. It was just, the whole thing was kind of just to me. Like, I don't know, y'all, but me and my best friend, basically, when she was telling us about him, we were like, we need to meet him. We need to make sure he ain't nothing like the last one. Like, we need to make sure you ain't going through nothing else nearly, like, nowhere near what happened to you in the last situation, basically. So yeah, she ended up introducing him to us or whatever, basically over the phone, and that was kind of it. He did become a bit cool with us. Like, we were cool with him being around or whatever. Like, it wasn't no, like, we don't like him type of thing. But eventually, you know, again, we start to form opinions because she's coming to us about things that she don't like that he said or did. And honestly, we couldn't, based off of what happened in the first relationship, we couldn't have really expected her to, you know, have better worth for herself, I guess you could say. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, I don't know, he pissed you off, or y'all getting into an argument and a disagreement, yeah, you should leave him. Like, we weren't saying you should leave. She should have left him over the smallest things, but the things she was telling us is like, as more and more things she would come and tell us about him, we're just like, girl, obviously this ain't it. Like, and it wasn't as bad. No. Let me say, it wasn't nearly as bad as the last relationship as far as like it turning abusive or anything like that. But, you know, like, it's more of a, like, a he ain't shit type of thing. Like, he, again, L-mans. Like, he just wasn't through. And I could give examples. For instance, there was a day that she literally called the group chat crying. And we have no idea what's going on. So, obviously, we have our defenses up. Like, we on defense mode. Like, girl, what's wrong with you? Did he do something? Like, we asked her these questions. She couldn't really get much out to us, but she basically told us that I believe she found something in her phone that she didn't really like, and she had confronted him about it, and he wasn't really like giving much attention to it. Like, he liked to put on like this nonchalant act and stuff like that, or act like she was the crazy one. And so she ended up going outside of her car crying. And I asked her, I said, do you want me to come over there? Basically just to comfort her. And she said yes. So I got in my car and I drove about 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes at the max because of traffic, all the way out there to comfort her. And y'all, during this time that I'm driving there and the time that I was there comforting her, I was probably there for about a good 20, 25 minutes to be safe. Minutes that I was there, he never came out, not once, to check on her. And he knew that she was out there crying because of him, or because of whatever they had going on inside of there. And you don't go out there and check on your girlfriend, not one time. Okay. So then she goes back in to talk to him. After she had been in there for a while, I texted her like, girl, you good? She's like, yeah, you could go ahead and go if you would like. So that's what I did. I went back home. And at the time, I didn't feel like it was a waste, because I feel like I made her feel better. You know, I gave her a hug. I was sitting there holding her. Like, literally, I was a shoulder for her to cry on. Literally, like, not exaggerating. And yeah, just to listen to her basically and give her some friendship advice, basically. Like, girl. Then another example is he was on Facebook dating, hitting up other girls. It wasn't that he was on there and other girls were hitting him up and he was entertaining them, which is just as bad. Is bad in the first place that he's even on Facebook dating, but he was the one hitting up the girls, which is crazy. And his reasoning for that to her was because he wanted attention. Like, you don't get enough of it? Bro, she was literally at his house almost every day throughout the entire day. How much attention you wanting, bro? Like, she don't even live with you and she over there every single day. And honestly, y'all, that became a problem for the three of us. But we're going to get into that in just a second. So, yeah, she ended up calling us about that. She was not happy about it, obviously. And we're like, yeah, no, girl, at this point, you need to leave him. Like, I was never the type of friend to tell my friends to leave their significant other, because I know what it's like. Like, you build a connection with this person. You spend the most time with this person outside of, like, their family with them or whatever, stuff like that. And it's just like, I don't know, you see sides of them that others wouldn't. And it's just like, you wouldn't be so ready to leave them so quickly, I guess. But off of this and that happening after everything else, on top of all of this happened literally under a month of them being together. It wasn't even a month. And he was already just doing stuff for real. And she was already getting upset with him and all of that. So I was like, we were both like, girl, this isn't healthy. This is toxic. You definitely need to skedaddle on up out of there. Like, it ain't even worth it. Why? You don't have to put up with this, basically. And yeah, she agreed. I mean, I won't say she was making it seem like she was agreeing at first, because she was agreeing, but not to the point to where she would actually leave him. But that's not what we thought. We thought that she was leaving him because that's what she also told us at first. She was like, yeah, I already told him I don't think I could be in a relationship with you. And basically saying or insinuating that she's already out the relationship with him. But then when we got off the call, she was like, I'm finna go talk to him real quick. And we were like, okay, girl, like, we all good. We thought, like, round of applause, girlie. Go ahead, put it to rest. Put it to an end. And we don't hear nothing else from her for the rest of the day. Then we get up next day, and we're seeing pictures, like a carousel of pictures of him and her. And they had posted it on their Instagram. It was like a collab post. And then, she reposted it on both her Instagram and her Snap stories. So when I'm seeing this, I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Like, you would think at this point, nothing else that this girl does should shock me. But absolutely. Like, she never fails. Never fails to shock me until, later on. But we get into that. I'm just like, why did I feel away? Because it's just like, girl, we did all of this. I literally wasted gas to come comfort you. Literally wasted gas on her. Make sure she's good. Just all of this stuff. You doing all this complaining just for you to still stay with him and then post pictures as if y'all are just like this so very much loving couple. Like, yeah, my man, your man, it ain't shit to you. Okay. Okay. So I was just like, what was the point? Like, I feel like that was just a whole waste for real. Like, so then y'all, I ended up showing or bringing it to my best friend's attention, and she literally was like basically the same way. Like, what the hell? Like, it just didn't make sense. So me and my best friend were talking on the group chat FaceTime earlier, and mind you, y'all, whenever we got on these at this point, whenever she was over at his house, she would like ignore group chat texts and group chat FaceTime calls. She wouldn't join them or text back because she didn't want him interacting with us. Not because of us, but because she didn't trust him. So that was another thing. That was like, girl, you already don't have trust in him. So it's just like, why continue to be with him, especially after what just happened too. So yeah, me and my best friend were talking on the FaceTime, and then eventually Troll had joined into the call. And y'all, really, after she did that, it was just her and my best friend that was talking. I didn't want to talk to her, to be honest. Like, I was just so over it. I didn't say a word. I didn't look at the camera. I was just at work reading my book for real. And she could already tell that I felt away, obviously, because I just wasn't saying nothing. I wasn't smiling. I wasn't laughing. There was nothing to laugh for. It was nothing to smile for. Like, all of that was just bullshit. Like, what are we actually doing for real? Like, I really just, I don't know. But she didn't say nothing about it at the time. And yeah, then fast forward, we had ended up deciding to talk to her because we felt like she was neglecting our friendships with her that we had with her, basically. So we brought it up to her. We were basically just like, girl, you over at this man's house every day, almost all day. You don't respond to our texts. You barely join the calls, all of that stuff. And she admitted that she ignored them because she was over there. And we're just like, that's just like that's not a valid excuse. That's not, you ignoring us because you're at your boyfriend's house is not a good excuse for us, unfortunately. sorry you're best friends with us, I guess. Like, I don't know, man. It was just weird to me because I would never do that to any of my friends. Mind you, at that point, I had been with my boyfriend for 2 years and some change. And I've just never done that to them. I've never ignored any of my friends because of my boyfriend. If anything, even if me and my boyfriend are doing something, I would tell them like, hey, give me a minute, or I'll call you back later, or I'll text you back later. Me and my boyfriend are doing this, or me and my boyfriend is out doing that. And that's something as simple as just having basic communication with the people that you have connections with, rather than just ignoring them. So we had that conversation with her that ended up in it being an argument mainly between me and her, because I don't know, me personally, I feel like we're girls. We all it takes is for the slightest change of tone to turn, and then we're getting a little feisty. And with me, I return energies. So I feel like she was coming at me in a way because she was in defense mode. And I also have no idea why she was in defense mode with us. She had no reason to. And she had no reason to be upset with us. We had all the reason to be upset with her, because really what really sparked that conversation in the first place was she was supposed to go to my best friend's city to, I can't remember if it was to get her hair done or just to regularly hang out. But either way, she had ended up canceling, and then she ended up over at his house. And then when I brought that up to her, she was like, but y'all, he's my boyfriend. Girl, I don't care. You said you were gonna go see our best friend because y'all haven't seen, mind you, we don't see this girl like that no more at that point. Not no more. And the last time we had seen her was a picnic that we had arranged, and she was late to that too because she was over there with him. And before that, we didn't remember the last time we had seen her. So obviously we want to spend more time with her, and that's not even to say that we wanted to take all of her time away from him, because we understood that was her boyfriend. But girl, again, we barely saw her, other than that one time we went to the picnic during that time frame. So obviously it was a problem with us. And instead of her going there, first of all, she ended up falling asleep. Okay, fine, cool, whatever. But then when you get up and you getting ready to, and acting like you going down there, then you gonna text last minute saying, never mind, I'm not gonna come. And you end up over there, girl, yes, it's gonna cause a problem. So that's what sparked the conversation in the first place. But it was probably gonna be had either way, because we were already having issues. And just, it was like, y'all, it was crazy. To me, I felt like the whole entire thing started just over a boy. Like, there's no way I just argued with my best friend over a nigga I don't even give a fuck about. Like, there's just no way. So that ended up happening. Me and my best friend didn't speak to her for a couple of days, or more like it was like she didn't speak to us for a couple of days, because we did try to hit her up after that and she would just ignore it. So it ain't a thing to her for her to ignore us. So that already, really, y'all, I shouldn't even be at this point in the story time. Like, the friendship should have been deaded. I should have been ended it. I should have been exited stage left. Okay, it should have been done. But because of the friend I am, I stuck it through. Like I said, y'all, in part one, I'm just really one of those friends that don't play about my friendships and stuff. I'm not gonna just sit here and leave you over mistake number 1, mistake number 2, mistake number 3. Like, I'm gonna try and stick it out, and I'm gonna try to make it to where the friendship is where it's supposed to be. But honestly, after that, we never had a real actual conversation after that, like a real chill, mature conversation. It just kind of got swept under the rug for real. So I feel like that opened the door for unresolved issues and emotions to still be up in the air for real, but it kind of just got pushed to the back for real. So skipping later down to like the end of last year, she had ended up messing with this other dude. She didn't tell us anything about him, so we had no idea about him. I'm not gonna say his occupation, but it's a pretty serious occupation. So we're kind of surprised. We're like, okay, like that's cool or whatever. But at this point in time, like, she's constantly coming to us about boy issues, boy problems, whether it be with him or involving another male. It's just like, at that point, I was getting tired of it. My best friend was too, but I don't think she was ever gonna speak up to her about it, about her like getting tired about it. But I was definitely getting tired of it. I was getting annoyed of it. And I got to a point where I didn't want to hear no more about it. And I eventually brought this up to her. I told her, like, girl, I'm trying to have, and this is beginning of this year. I told her, girl, I'm trying to have a more positive year. I'm tired of dealing with all this negativity and stuff, all these negative emotions. So I'm trying to, like, clean my plate off. I'm trying to have positive vibes, positive energies. Hold on, y'all. Let me take these glasses off. I feel like the glare would be distracting because it's low-key distracting me. But yeah, I was telling her that. And within that same conversation, since I had her there and since I was already thinking about it, I just felt like I needed to get off my chest. I went ahead and told her about my unresolved issues. And I did apologize that I was just then coming out about all this stuff, because it's just like, girl, if you was feeling this way, you should have said it right when you were feeling it. But one thing about me is, after a situation had happened and I'm not ready to talk about it, I'm just not ready. I can't talk about a situation spot on until I'm ready to talk about it. And sometimes when I feel like I'm ready to talk about it, I feel like it's too far gone to talk about it, like the situation been happened or whatever, then I would be like, you know, it would be like, a girl, like, you know how long ago this happened? Why are you coming to me about this type of thing? So, you know, I apologize for bringing it up so late to her, but I still got everything I needed to get off my chest, starting from the scary situation all the way down to, like, you know, me basically being over her coming to us about all her boy issues and her not, like, doing anything about it. It's like, you would come to us about the same thing, different guy, but you're not doing anything to change it. So it's just like, do you like those situations? Do you like being in toxic relationships? Do you like being in toxic situations? Do you like attracting not shit people? Like, I'm confused. And if that's the case, I just don't want to hear about it no more. Like, if that's all you're going to keep surrounding yourself with, I don't want to hear about it no more. Respectfully. And she was like, yeah, I understand. Like, I'll start talking about the boy issues or whatever. I was like, okay, cool. Then before we ended the conversation, because I'm one of those type of people where it's just like, don't have a conversation with me and then go off to have negative things to say basically afterwards. So I gave her a chance and said, before we get off this phone or before we end this conversation, is there anything you would like to say to me or get off your chest to me? She was like, no, not really, other than the fact of, like, I don't understand why you and my best friend stayed friends with a guy that basically came out, we were friends with him, and he came out that he didn't like Troll or whatever, and he didn't want to be in the same spaces as her, and he didn't want her to be around the same spaces as him. Like, so much to the point to where if we all tried to hang out as friends and we wanted to invite him, but she was going, we just knew better not to invite him while she was in the picture, or to invite her while he was in the picture. And honestly, when she said that to me, I was like, there's just no way you just said that to me. Like, obviously I didn't say it like that at the time, but I was just like, well, this person cannot dictate who I am and, like, who I'm friends with and who I'm not friends with. So there was no way he was going to be able to get me to stop being friends with you, if that makes sense. And I kind of took offense to the fact that she thought he would be able to do that, because it's just like, what kind of friend do you think I am? Like, to the point to where you think I would stop being friends with you based off of someone else not wanting me to be friends with you. Like, you get what I'm saying? That's weird to me. But then that was just the end of that. And I forgot to mention, y'all, at some point in that conversation, she had ended up telling me that she didn't think that we were ever really that close, which actually blew my mind, because y'all tell me, based off of everything that I just got done telling y'all, we wasn't that close. Because if that was the case, I shouldn't have known the details that I know about your life. Like, if I was really not that close with you, if I was just an associate for real, or like, I shouldn't have known everything that I know now to be able to tell this whole story to y'all today. So that kind of, like, I was speechless to that. For real, I didn't really, like, that was, whoa. But after that, I would say 2 or 3, maybe 2 or 3 days after that, she had reposted a video on both her Snap and her Instagram of this guy, and the audio was basically like, if you ever find yourself mad at me, make sure you put on a cape and be super mad, you stupid bitch. And y'all, the reason why I took it the way that I did was because, first of all, she don't post much on her Snapchat stories. She don't post that much on her Instagram stories, but she definitely posts more on there than her Snap. And then, with that being said, she definitely doesn't repost the same videos or repost the same posts on both her Snapchat stories and her Instagram stories. So then, to me, it's just like, oh, so whoever this is targeted to, you really want them to see this, right? And then on top of that, we had just had a conversation where I was telling you times where I was mad at you. Literally, I used that same wording. I said, there was this time where I was mad at you, that time where I was mad at you. And just me seeing this on both her Snap and Instagram stories, just like, so what are we trying to say? Is this towards me? And maybe I should have asked her, but I never did. I just chose to keep it to myself. And I even went to my best friend about, like, advice about it. I was like, should I, like, try to confront this? I don't know if this is about me. And she was just like, I don't know. Like, you know, there's no real proof of it being towards you, you know? So I wouldn't take it like that. But I don't know, y'all. I think it was safe to say that I was pretty much already getting over this friendship, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was safe to say I was pretty much getting over this for real. So, and then after I seen another story of her asking who wanted to link up in my best friend's city after she got done with something, I can't remember, that also made me want to push away even more, because that's crazy. She never really tried to initiate hangouts with us, like with me and my best friend, or like with us and the rest of the friend group. So I just found it kind of odd how she's able to reach out to her Snap friends or whatever, whoever is viewing the story, who wants to hang out, but yet it's such a hard task to try and hang out with your normal circle of friends, your regular circle of friends. I don't know. So I found myself distancing even more and more. And she eventually started to notice it, because it got to a point where I was not responding back to her messages and like group messages. Basically, I was pretending, it was as if I was disregarding her existence. And I can understand how that could hurt. But at the same time, I was just so over it. Like, I was so done. And I was just over it, to be honest. So that's basically, I would say that's where the friendship ends, but that's not where contact ends. She ended up calling me one day, like FaceTiming me one-on-one, and I already knew what it was about, because usually when we all want to talk to each other, or even if it's just one-on-one, we call the group chat FaceTime. We don't text or call each other one-on-one, and if we do, it's very, very rare, and it ain't about nothing serious. But yeah, so yeah, she had called me, and basically she was just like, just to shorten it up, like, what's up? I stopped talking about my boy issues to you, and you acting like my existence doesn't exist. And I'm just like, I'm gonna be real, girl. I'm not feeling this. Like, this is, I don't know. Like, I started bringing up situations like, for instance, in our last talk that we had, you questioned me and my best friend about staying friends with old dude after he came out that he didn't like you or whatever, and that he allegedly wanted us not to be friends with you no more. I honestly really don't even remember that part clearly, but apparently it happened. But you stayed with Scary after he literally disrespected and threatened us. And she was like, yeah, you do have a point. Stuff like that. Like, she would acknowledge the stuff that I bring up to her and basically just be like, yeah, like I did that, or yeah, like that sounds like me. But it's like, that's just it. Like, that's just that. It's like she doesn't feel any, like, she doesn't feel like she's genuinely in the wrong for any of this stuff. It's just like, oh, like, yeah, that did happen, or like, yeah, I did do that, or yeah, I did say that. But then it's just like, okay, and now what? Like, we're still, the issues still remain. Like, I don't know. And because of that, it's just like, I can't function as a real friend in this friendship anymore. And then at that point, it turns into me being fake, and I just can't do that. So yeah, basically she had ended up getting off the phone with me. She was talking to my best friend. I told my best friend add me to the call, and basically she was explaining that the reason why she operates the way she does in friendships is because, you know, she grew up with just her dad raising her basically, and she was basically raised like get money for this. And I was just like, and then she also tried to compare us to like her male friends. She was just like, I was kind of shocked that you guys have problems with any of these things, because like me and my male friends, like, we can go without talking for however much time and we're still really good friends. I'm like, girl, first of all, them male friends 9 times out of 10 probably couldn't give a rat's ass if you're in their life or not. So there's that. And then it's still nothing to compare us to, because we're supposed to be your best friends. So it's just like, that doesn't matter. You bringing them up and how your friendship is with them means nothing to us. Like, it don't got nothing to do with us basically. And it was at that point where I was just like, we're just not compatible no more. That's where I was like, it's dawning on me. Everything's rushing back from her telling business to her niggas that ain't got nothing to do with them, to her staying with them after constantly coming to us about stuff that we like. Y'all, we listened to her, but we didn't care about the situations, because just like, okay, well, what are you gonna do about it then? What are you gonna do to get out of this situation to stop feeling this way? Basically, like, just everything. I'm thinking about everything. I'm just like, we just can't be friends no more. So I ended up sending her a text. I'll put it here, and in the friendship, maturely and nicely. And she didn't respond to the next morning. She sent like 3 or 4 messages and then unsent them, and that was her reply. But then something told me to check her Instagram notes, because she was on there dang near, you could say, religiously. Almost every day she had a note, some type of note on the Instagram or whatever. So I checked her notes, and basically it said, how the fuck are you the victim? And it was towards me. It even came out from her later on that it was towards me. And I was just like, there's just no way that she went to socials to sub me. Like, girl, honestly, the rest of the story is just a bunch of, it don't really matter for real. So I guess I could leave it out and just leave it at this. But I did address her another time or 2 other times, and I got no response. So actually, I mean, I could put them up here, but I'm just not going to give context to it, because again, no response was given. Other than the fact that I did send her, I watched this YouTuber. Her name is Chessa the Brat, and she tells story times. I was not going out of my way to look for videos that specifically went with my situation, but at the time, her most recent video, I clicked on it just to watch it, normal day, and literally the intro of her video like just spoke, like it correlated to my situation that I was going through at the time.
I've been telling y'all, the older I get, the more I realize like I don't really give a fuck about, oh, that's just her, like she needs to fix that when it comes to me, or I'm just gonna not be your friend. Like, I understand accepting people for who they are at the end of the day, but if there's just bad, you know, habits about a person that they need to change, or that are affecting how they operate within their friendships and stuff like that, you do not have to just deal with somebody because that's just how they are. Like, that can be just how they are, and they can be like that over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? They can be like that with other people and not with you, because you have to protect yourself. At the end of the day, you need to protect your peace. You need to honor yourself more than just to allow anybody to treat you any type of way just because they treat everybody like that. Okay, that's cute, that's cool, they can treat everybody like that, but not me though.
I literally took it as a sign, so I sent it to her with my very last message to her. I have not said nothing else to her after this, and basically saying like, listen, like this is literally how I feel, and it shouldn't have been a problem in the first place that I ended the friendship the way I did, because it was obvious that we're not, like, we just can't be friends no more. We're not compatible for each other anymore, and that's just that. So, you know, she did end up reading all of that. She took it to my best friend though. She used my best friend as a middleman throughout the whole time we were having our issue after the fact of me ending it. And that was basically just it. I haven't heard anything from her. I haven't said anything else to her. And that's the end of the story, y'all. It sucks. It really does, because it took me some time to get over it. And honestly, I can say I'm still somewhat getting over it, but I'm nowhere near feeling as bad as I was in the beginning. But I will admit, it did suck, y'all. Like, I did consider this girl as one of my best friends, one of my closest friends, and it sucked that it had to end this way. But sometimes friendships, even relationships just in general with people, don't work out, and some people have their priorities or their balances, you know, relationship and friendship balances not balanced, so they tend to put their significant others, or even just people that they're messing with, not even with, people that they're messing with, above people that have been there, above friends that will remain there for you, above friends that actually care and love, care for and love you. So it just is what it is. And that's all for this story time. I believe my next story time I will record for you guys is my ex-roommate story time, and y'all should definitely stay tuned for that one, because that was definitely a show. But I feel like it's just a normal, like, you know, roommate story time. Like, I feel like many people probably go through what I went through with this, but we'll see. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that. I'll also be having some other Roblox videos coming out whenever I get home from my dog sittings and I'm able to play Roblox, or maybe if I record off of my iPad. Like, y'all let me know if y'all are okay with that, and let me know what y'all thought about this story time. Like, literally give me feedback. I'm open to all of it. I'm open to y'all telling me if I was wrong at any point of the story time, how y'all would have reacted, whether or not y'all would have been sad over the friendship ending, all of that stuff. But anyway, until next time, my loves, my melaholics, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share. Get your girl out there, and I'll see you in the next video.